the best case scenario here is a tie, right? So the Democrats hold on to the Senate, raise their thin margin with Joe Biden voting, et cetera, right? And at that point, we'll have the same exact gridlock we had now. It's not going to get any better. Like, you know, when Obama during 2012 said, well, if I win, we'll have the fever will break and the Republicans will realize they got to work with me. Of course, we laughed and laughed. Of course, that didn't happen, and we knew it was never going to happen. So it's not like if the Republicans don't win the Senate, but they picked up 4 seats, 5 seats, whatever, the fever will break and they'll be like, oh, right, we should work with Democrats. Never going to happen. Never, ever, ever. So best case scenario is status quo of doing pretty much nothing, right? The worst case scenario is the Republicans gain pick up the Senate. Then they get to run roughshod, and you say, oh, it'll show how bad they are because they'll get to pass bills through the Senate and the House. They might not. The Democrats could filibuster, but they are Democrats. They'll probably keep their powder dry, right? Okay, so why is that so bad? Because Biden just said yesterday, if we lose the Senate, we will compromise more. He said, okay? And so now Reince Priebus came out today and said, if we win the Senate, Keystone Pipeline's a done deal. Okay. Yes. Now, he doesn't know what's in Obama's mind. He's huffing and puffing, right? But I would bet he's right.
I would bet he's right for sure.
And so
Obama wants to do the goddamn pipeline.
He wants to do it anyway. He'll say, well, what can I do?
Yeah.
See, do you really want Obama in a position where he's allowed to say, the Republicans made me do it? Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now he's going to get to say the Republicans made me do it. Definitely on Keystone Pipeline is my guess. And you run down the list. And now Grand Bargain is up, and that's the thing we're all scared of. You cut Social Security and Medicare. You give the Republicans the greatest gift they could hope for, get almost nothing in return, right? And so those are possible disasters. So you don't have this crazy idea in your head, oh, if the Republicans win, maybe people will see. They won't see anything. You know what they'll see? They'll see a Democratic president doing all the things Republicans want. And if shit goes south, which it will, they'll blame Obama and they'll say, you see, the country Washington went too liberal and it was a socialist Marxist Obama that cut the Social Security. And on it goes.
They run this play every time. I wrote a piece running a bet that if Obama proposes Social Security cuts in his budget, how long will it take them to attack him from the left? 15 minutes. 15 minutes. He published his budget. Yes. 15 minutes later, the number 2 guy in Congress, the number 2 Republican went on saying, this is an attack on seniors. You bet that when they do those deals, they'll say, this Democratic president cut Social Security. Cenk's absolutely right. It's going to be ugly.
Well, they ran it on the last couple of weeks of this election.
They sure did.
They started running ads saying, Obama and the Democrats promised to cut your Social Security. Republicans are here to protect it. Now, we all know that Obama said, I'll cut Social Security to try to get a deal with the Republicans who desperately want to cut it. Who knows that? Nobody knows that, right? All they see is the ads where they say. Now, look, there is one caveat, which is that, and it might be surprising to hear it coming from me, but we're in the business of facts here. I mean, yeah, we have perspective. Yes, we're progressives, yada, yada. But throughout the existence of the Young Turks, we care deeply about what the reality is, right? Not what we'd like to happen, et cetera. So Obama actually, I thought these last 2 years did better than expected. Look, given the first 4 years of his administration, he came out and did a lot of executive actions that I would not have necessarily predicted. I said that he was already going to do Keystone Pipeline. I was wrong about that. He didn't, right? He delayed it. And so now we don't know if he's going to finish it, but better so far that it hasn't been done, right? On immigration, he delayed it. I do believe he will do it after the elections, but that was frustrating, right? But on coal-fired power plants, now that was a bold move, and it really helps the environment. So that was another strong move on his part. So on many different occasions, I was like, whoa, that's a little stronger than I expected. So, I used to say in the first term, he gave us change, pocket change, 5%. 5% was his number. That's what he was going for, and he hit it, right? This term, I am damning with faint praise here, but I got 25% change in my opinion, okay? Doing the best he can under difficult circumstances, not the best he can, but the best Obama could, right? So it is possible that he, instead of going to 25%, maybe he goes to 50% change. Like that he gets, if the Democrats hold on to the Senate, gets emboldened and pushes more in that direction. It's not impossible, because he was headed in the right direction. Now, if the Republicans win, it's also possible that he can go backwards, back to 5%, and back to compromise, and back to, well, the Republicans made me do it.
The good thing about being a president when the opposing party controls Congress is it's very easy to make yourself popular.
Yes.
And it might be so easy to make yourself popular that even he can't help but make himself popular.